Hello Internet and welcome to Revueo, the heavily opinionated movie review show.
I'm Ant.
I'm Cal.
And I'm Paddy. Every week we take a look at a new cinema release and we also cast our eyes over a classic film available on DVD.
This week we're looking at Invictus and Fight Club on DVD.
So Invictus, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Morgan Freeman and Matt Damon. Thoughts, feelings and turn-ons?
Turn-ons?
Yeah, well you can tell me your turn-offs if you want.
Well, you never know.
If Morgan Freeman's hair wasn't doing it for you, then let me know.
I like Morgan Freeman's hair.
It's pretty good.
Did they do makeup on him to make him look more like Nelson Mandela?
Yeah, he had that old skunk thing on the go, didn't he?
He did his hair.
He had spray paint.
And he had the little dots.
He's got dots anyway.
Does he?
Yeah, he's naturally dotty. Yeah.
Naturally dotty.
Kind of guy.
No, he's got freckles. But no, I think it's a pretty good film. It's obviously a great storyline of Nelson Mandela being freed from prison and helping kind of unite his country. And yeah, I thought it's pulled off pretty well. And the thing that got me is it's a story that's it'd be kind of difficult to get wrong. As in, it's such a great kind of uplifting story that kind of no matter how you did it, I think it could still make a pretty good film. And so it's...
What is the synopsis of the film? We've not actually explained what it is.
The film is about Nelson Mandela, who's just been elected president of South Africa. And he, as his first kind of act as El Pres, he decides to try and motivate Matt Damon to win the Rugby World Cup, to unite Africa in this rainbow nation.
There's a lot of this going on here. It's like a back crawl.
I'm gesticulating.
It's gesticulating.
You're a Clint Eastwood fan, personally?
I am a personal Clint Eastwood fan, but I was not a fan of this film.
Yeah.
I didn't think this story was necessary. I didn't think it had. Ray, if we're going to go through biopics of kind of people from history who kind of overcome adversity and all that, Ray
like
is.
the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, exactly like the
biopic,
Blues Brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
They had God on their side.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Natural advantage, like.
Yeah, I think that they're interesting stories because they're in someone's entire life. But it starts just after he's come out of prison, and it's all about a rugby game, which I didn't particularly find interesting.
Yeah.
It was portrayed very well because this is the only really rugby film I can think of. Come to think of it, I mean, there's a lot of sort of football films, American football films, basketball films. Yeah. This has kind of brought rugby to mainstream cinema, which I think is really, really nice. I mean, I've not seen it before. They kind of portrayed it in the same way which real rugby is. They've not glorified it or anything like that. I mean, the crowd scenes were pretty epic, I thought.
That's true,
I was trying to figure out how they shot it. We noticed a few green screen shots and things, but generally the crowds looked like they were in the game. I mean, they must have filled out a couple of stadiums and they shot the different rugby matches, which I really liked. As a film on the whole, I think it did deserve to be told, sorry to go get to your point, but I don't think it was that great of a film. I think it was an enjoyable watch. It was educational in the fact that we learned about South Africa and about Matt Damon's accent and things like that, but it wasn't fan-dabba-dozzy in my opinion.
I agree with Ant on certain parts. I think it's a story that should have been told, but I agree with what you said about about what part of Nelson Mandela's life they talk about. I think the very first shot of the film is when Nelson Mandela's just been freed from prison, and it's the white response and the black response from the country about his release from prison. And straight away they go into him being president, and there's nothing about him in the time from when he's released from prison to the time when he becomes president. And I think that's a very interesting part of his life that they could have focused on more, even if it's just another,
Well, they're looking into doing a Nelson Mandela biopic, aren't they?
I suppose so, yeah, they could do it then. But then, it's done straight away and it's done through a very, very quick montage. And I think that's quite an important part of the film that they should have really done. But there you go.
I think Morgan Freeman's portrayal as Nelson Mandela is such a gem that it's a shame to waste it on this in a way, when they could have done a proper biopic. I mean, who's going to be Nelson Mandela? Unless they get Morgan Freeman to be Nelson Mandela again.
Denzel to do it.
It's going to look like a sequel.
Yeah,
it's going to be like Invictus 2.
Yeah.
More
Mandela
Invictus.
Strikes Back.
All right, guys. Ratings for Invictus. What do we all think?
I think we should probably explain our rating system before we go on. We've got a rating system here on Revueo from 1 to 5, where 1, thanks for that, just in case our viewers can't count. 1 is Shits McGee, 2 is Pretty Poor, 3 is Alright, 4 is Proper Beau, and 5 is Tits McGee. Just like that. And so personally, I'd give it a 3. I'd give it an alright, because it was a good story, but as I said at the start, I think it's a story that no matter how it had been told would still be quite uplifting, and it was not necessarily pulled off in the best way, so I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with Pad Star over here. I'd give it an alright. Is that my alright sign? I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it's like that. I'd give it an alright. It was an entertaining film. It kind of dragged on a little bit in parts. You know, it was quite educational, in fact, I learned about South Africa and things like that, but it was, you know, it wasn't bow or anything, it was alright.
I don't think it dragged on. I think as a film, it worked as a whole, but to reiterate my point, I don't think it was need to be told, so I would give it a 3 as well.
Sorted.
Okay, coming up is our skit of Invictus, where we basically take the idea of the film and put our own little spin on it, and we hope you enjoy it.
Right, boys, we've got 5 minutes to win this. Can you hear your country calling? This is our destiny. Come on!
Where are you going to be from?
I'm South African.
Nah, I was in South Africa. I was more Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian, you? Well, he wasn't Canadian, South African.
Ah, never mind. Come on, boys, let's do this. Unite our country. That was Irish. That was definitely Irish.
Mine's better than that.
Nah, it kind of wasn't. Come on, I got it. Just do it.
Right, the whole world is watching, boys. Let's do this for our country, okay? Let's do this for South Africa. Australian.
What?
It was kind of Australian.
No, this is Australian.
It just sounds like a Foster's advert.
Yeah, and Foster's is Australian.
You know they don't actually speak like that.
They certainly do. But anyway, the South African's badass, doesn't it?
Right. I want to say good luck to you all. At least we don't sound Welsh.
Hello and welcome back to Revueo. I hope you enjoyed that last little skit of Invictus.
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 We're going to stop now. We're going to no more South African accents for the rest of the show.
We're going to start reviewing our DVDs. Take it away.
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
First rule, yeah, you've just broken the first 2 rules of Fight Club, right?
I know.
What
Are you allowed to say the word Fight Club?
You're allowed to say the word Fight Club.
You're not allowed to talk about Fight Club, so this entire review is breaking the first 2 rules.
Can you say
of Fight
like
Club.
Right Club with an F, or Fright Club minus the R, or can you like
Bright Club?
Yeah, call it FC or something like that.
You can say Fight Club, you're just not allowed to
It's not
talk
like saying
about
Macbeth in
it.
the theatre.
Yeah, but they'll be like, do you want to come and join Fight Club? Because all you've done is mention it.
That's talking about
Yeah, you're still
Fight
talking
Club.
about Fight Club. Because then they'll be like, what's Fight Club? And you're committed.
And
Then
then
you don't have to answer, you can just go, oh, run away.
I'm not allowed to talk about it. Well, that's what Bob says in the film. He says, I'm joined a new club, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Right, anyway, we're going to review Fight Club for you today. Basically, we follow a narrator / Jack, an insomniac, sort of drowned, dreary, depressed kind of guy.
Eddie Norton.
Edward Norton, and a Hulk.
Of all the 4 films, I think you can find a better example. American History X is a better example of Eddie Norton's work.
I'm going to say Hulk's going to beat American History X. I'm joking. Yeah, Baffa Napoli. Anyway, they, Edward Norton and Brad Pitt set up a new little sort of posse / club. They may have called it Fight Club, and then we kind of follow their antics as we go on from there. What do you think?
Amazing film. Literally, it's one of my favourite films of all time. It's first time I watched it, as I'm sure quite a lot of people do, is they don't quite get what's going on when they first watch it. But the more times you see it, the more you kind of appreciate what the director's trying to do. I've also read the book, A Fight Club, which is fantastic as well. And it also appeals to just an inherently male thing of just dudes fighting, which is pretty cool. Just guys kicking the crap out of each other. Spoiler, it's called Fight Club. About a Fight Club, it's about, you know, flower arranging or something like that. No chance. Yeah, just it's a good man film, but it's so much more than that as well.
One issue on the point of CGI is I do think that CGI is a little bit dated now.
In comparison to
modern day stuff.
Well,
it's 10 years old now. 10 or 11 years old.
For its time, I think it did well.
It was good in its time.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they had some really, really long shots. You know, when it goes down through the building and to the Blom. Don't want to spoil it.
Oh, too late.
It's right at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, it's at the beginning of the film, but it's a kind of there's a few little flashbacks. Yeah. Isn't there a few little nifty editing tricks and things?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic watch. Every time you watch it, and it's just it's a really good film. Right. Okay. I think we need to give some ratings for this film.
Absolutely.
For me, in fact, I'll let you go first because you're on my right.
Come on,
man. I will give it a 5. I just
don't sound too happy about that, you know. Just to be excited. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something to balance it out. It's just like 5. It's amazing.
It is.
So camp.
I mean, yeah, it's an amazing film, and It's got some star performances. I think Brad Pitt is the kind of...
He's a driving force.
He's the star of the show in this. Edward Norton takes a kind of backseat, which I think supports Brad Pitt in a way. If there was two guys trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm the cool guy of this film, then it wouldn't have worked. But it is Brad Pitt is the one that's driving along, and Edward Norton's being kind of dragged along.
Which is, well, that reflects part of the narrative as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Calcium?
I will give it a proper bow. I want to give it a 4 out of 5. It's an absolutely fantastic film, but they could have got a hottie in to play the crack whore. I mean, if they got like Ricci in as she was in Black Snake Moan, then I would have given it a 5.
She would have been like 10 at the time.
I can't believe you're genuinely giving this film a 4 because they didn't cast.
It's 4 out of 5.
Yeah, but that's the same as we give a lot of.
You want about it being a very, very raw, masculine film? They've got guys with the boobs out, smacking each other, and there's no like hot piece of sort of eye candy.
Yeah, but that's where she comes from. If she was some kind of stunning woman, then she wouldn't be.
She can be a crack whore, but she can be really, really fit and stunning.
I think in a crack whorish way, she's quite good looking.
It needs to be plausible that Eddie Norton wouldn't go for her though. If she's throwing herself all over him and like being, oh, come round for breast examinations.
It doesn't matter. For the narrative, I don't care. For the sake of viewing pleasure, I wish she was fitter. Over to you, Patrick.
If I was a crack man, I'd do it.
A crack man.
What's the opposite of a crack hoe? A crack man-ho?
A man with a habit.
Crack man with a habit. A man who's suffering from crack cocaine.
I know, and there's nothing funny about that.
Paddy, lowering the tone.
Drug abuse is not a funny thingy, Paddy.
Therefore, funny Paddy. Okay, I'd give it a 5 out of 5, no doubt about that. It's an amazing film. As I said, it's one of my best films of all time, and just amazing stuff. Gets better every time I watch it, and I love it.
So after that fairly unanimous kind of high rating for Fight Club, I give it a high rating, come on. Anyway, up and coming is our Fight Club skit. Hope you enjoy. Bye.
Come on, son! You are mine! Paddy, I'm leaving you! Get it down! One, good shout. Good battle. Good battle.
Nice one, Paddy.
Yeah, Paddy, better than that. Feel amazing now, so invigorated. It's good.
Oh.
You guys up next?
Yeah, come on, it's our turn. What?
Do you shave your chest?
No, it's a medical condition. I can't help it.
Oh yeah, called what?
It's called alopecia chesticus.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, I've been in any medical dictionary. That's a real thing.
Really?
Lots of people have it, but like they have it on their heads. I got it on my chest. That's just my chest.
Alright, okay, I want to fight a real man. Any real men in the building? You've got some hair on your chest, take me on.
No, Bob, sit down. Bob, sit down, Bob. It's my go. If anyone should not want to fight, it should be me. I mean, what's all this about?
These are for protection.
Protection? Against what? The dark arts?
You've got no hair on your chest, I don't know what you're
Well, look at your chest. It looks like a surprise stoner. He's like, someone's been like, where's the weed? He's like,
my mum made me this way.
Your mum?
Yes.
I'd slap her for that.
I'll give you a slap right now. Writing that written. Do you want to go?
Let's go then.
Fine.
One, two, three, four. I declare some war.
Hello and welcome back to Revueo. Hope you enjoyed that little Fight Club skit. Thank you for watching.
Next week we'll be looking at Shutter Island, which will just come out of the cinema, and we'll also be looking at my favourite thriller of all time, Silence of the Lambs.
Make sure to check out www.vueo.tv for more great programming. It's ace. Best thing since sliced bread, and sliced bread's pretty good. It's like sliced bread, but on the internet.
See you next week. Peace.